Receiving.
Hi, receiving.
It's number 11, Lucia Howard. It's number 12, Tungile. It's number 13, Anya William. It's number 15, Kilisiwe Gandhi. It's number 17, Tabele Kotani. It's number 18, Nofundo Member, who is also the captain of this team. It's number 20, Bobo Zanai. And the substitutes are as follows. Just number 1, Nondikizo Mfanga. Just number 2, Stella Yampanza. Just number 4, Ayanda Akamini. Just number 5, Noto Mukele. Just number 7, Aneki Sakiebi. Just number 8, Sipiwe Mazebula. Just number 9, Lady Swam Makalala. Just number 14, Sipiwe Kelsey Club. And the coach of this team is Bendulo Mawale. For Costa del Sol, just number 1, Neema Mamiri. Just number 3, Sheila Alfonso. Just number 4, Aurora Ryan. Just number 5, Nelia Tamer. Just number 7, Ines Celestino. Just number 8, Albertino Carlos. Just number 11, Nadia Faragwan. Just number 20, Samira Latifo, who is also the captain.
This number 21, Joanna Musui. This number 22, Lucia Jose. This number 24, Myra Abdulay. The substitutes are as follows. This number 2, Leonilde Matola. This number 6, Anna Matola. This number 9, Angela.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so how do we fill that space? What do you want me to do to fill that space? Can't we do logs? We'll wrap up the 4 days that we've had. I think we can do that. If we can get logs and stuff, we'll patch it. A very, very good afternoon and welcome to you, and you. It is match day 4 of the COSAFA Women's Champions League qualifiers 2026. We're coming to you live from Gaborone. We had drama, we had goals, we have had end-to-end madness yesterday with Gaborone United edging out Torrential Queens. And now it's time to get more serious. It's game 7 of the Group B encounters, in which, dominated by Mamelodi Sundowns, 4 teams will be doing duty in today's encounter. The first up will be Nsingizini, Hotspurs and Costa del Sol, and our match this afternoon at 7 p.m. is Mamelodi Sundowns and Silver Strikers. Pitch has been very well prepared. It is an artificial surface that is one that is really holding the heat, and the players are trying their best to navigate the surface with the ball that seems to bounce rather awkwardly, a nightmare for goalkeepers at times. Well, alongside me for this encounter, as we look at the beautiful weather at partly cloudy, 30 degrees with 5-kilometer wind, which is much welcome. We're hoping that it could increase, which will allow a bit of a breeze that is northeasterly, and the players will be a lot more cooler. Seeing the beautifully prepared pitch is just an encouragement, and as I'm saying, I'm not going alone in this particular encounter. I'm going with KK. I call her Kutlwano, and she is one of our locals. Kutlwano Kikanetswe.
It's going to be an interesting encounter, very tight match. One can only hope the two teams who have lost in their previous encounters, their first games, will be looking to make sure that they try and get all the 3 points. You're looking at a Group A that concluded yesterday with Zescondola Girls 2 out of 2. They won all their 2 games that they played. Yesterday we saw them in action, winning by a solitary goal to nil of that of Lesotho Defence Force. They finish at the top of the Group A table with 6 points and a good goal difference of 4 with Gaborone United also qualifying, having made it 2 out of 2 with 6 points and a goal difference of 2. And Lesotho Defence Force, they sit there on number 3 with no points. They haven't won any game, as well as Herentau Queens of Zimbabwe. They also haven't found at least a point in this encounter.
Well, although the score lines and the points are what they are, we've seen some fantastic football from Group A. Zesco certainly being the team that has put their hand up together with the defending champions. Those two teams have qualified for the semi-final stages. The work is done, the business is done, and we're moving to Group B. When we look at Group B, it is the second game of the group standings. Mamelodi Sundowns and Silver Strikers in pole position. Costa del Sol and Nsingizini Hotspurs at the bottom of the log. The Whipping Girls of the group from Eswatini with a -8 goal difference. Again today we will see this group shaping up and setting the cats amongst the pigeons, which will push us to the final group matches of the respective tournament. At the moment, you still have a chance to fight your way in and see where you will end up. So 2 teams per group will advance into the knockout stages, and not only that, we will also be getting to see the coaches who are really trying to ensure that their team does advance. So for the moment, looking at the bench, that is the bench of Nsingizini Hotspurs. He will be in a moment or so getting going as we have a look at Costa del Sol in their bright yellow uniform. They do come from Mozambique. Is Costa del Sol. They've been part of this tournament, making their 4th appearance, and for Nsingizini Hotspurs making their debut in this tournament, breaking the deadlock and the dominance of young Buffaloes of Eswatini, as we welcome this new side into the competition.
Costa del Sol that is full of experienced players in that squad. They'll be looking to get their first 3 points for this tournament so far. They'll be looking at a team that lost 8-0 against Mamelodi Sundowns and really fancy their chances to try and get those goals and make sure that the final game becomes a decider for Costa del Sol. But also you look at Nsingizini Hotspurs team that is full of talented players in the first 11, as well as in that bench that we're looking at. They have players that are able to change the complexion of the game. They will be coming to this encounter knowing fully well how important 3 points will be for today's encounter.
You're talking about 3 points. A loss for Nsingizini Hotspurs means that they are the early departures in this tournament. They will start packing their bags and making their way back home. So there's a lot that is at stake in today's encounter. You can see those flags are barely moving, and the temperature at about 30 degrees Celsius. You can only imagine how that does increase for the players. It probably is 30, but feels like 34.
It'll feel like it's 34 degrees Celsius, especially when they're playing in an artificial turf that tends to get a bit hot as the temperatures rise.
The volunteers making their way onto the field, led by the ball girls and ball boys, who have given their time to contribute to the success of this tournament. We welcome you from wherever you are to come and witness the rise of women football. It's taken 15 years to be back at the shores of Botswana since 2011, and here they are with a fantastic tournament that is being delivered.
Fantastic tournament indeed, and you look at the players that are coming here, such young players who really are the future. We saw a 14-year-old yesterday. Today we are looking at a Nsingizini team who also have some youngsters that will be coming into this encounter to try and prove that they deserve to be at the top of the championship. As you look at the qualifiers that they want to go all the way and try and play the continental championship in terms of the CAF championship.
Well, the officials are getting the customary greetings, the handshakes out of the way before both teams give us or display a great piece of or spectacle of football. Our referees, Ilodi Lavirana Voni of Madagascar. She is supported by Dominka Melusi as well as Luengo Tsohang and Nonjabula Ndlelo being the fourth official. Virginia Livahari Voni of Madagascar is the lady of the moment, and this team with its substitutes on the bench is expected to get over the line. But again, you got to look at the side and say the average age of Costa del Sol is 26 years and 4 months. As we look at the coach, that is Mpendulo Mawelela. He has been at the helm of Hotspurs for over 2 seasons, and they have really progressed into this particular tournament. For Costa del Sol, we're also looking at a coach who has been part of this team for 4 years, who knows as they do make their 4th appearance, and have really been able to push this team. Their best finish being a runners-up, and that was they were the runners-up in the group stages, and also finishing 3rd in the 2025, making their debut in 2022. This is a far cry as we see the progression of this team to get to this particular point. Yes, they started in 2022 losing by 8-1 against Mamelodi Sundowns, and further going down 2-0 to double action in their second game, but more quality improvements in the subsequent years, finishing winning by 2-1 against Young Buffaloes. Similar score, but here is the lineup for Hotspurs. Samkelisiwe, Nobegazi, Nonjablisile, Lucia Anele, Pilisile, Ntabeleng, Nomfundo, Bobo are in the lineup, spotting 3 changes from the team that did duty in their previous encounter, as Coach Mpendulo and his bench are looking forward to ensuring that they get over line.
They come here with a 4-4-2 formation. As we see Nomfulo Bembe as well as Danai in that midfield, with Ntabele Mpotsane and Anele Ngwenya on the left and right hand side, looking to exploit those spaces and the right backs in support of Gaunwe as well as Mokale.
Well, that being the lineup for Nsingizini Hotspurs. Ayanda Dlamini, Nokolo Lukele on the bench as well. Those are players that you're expecting to come in and give you something that they have. For Costa del Sol, Neymar Namirez kept her position. Sheila Alphonse, Aurora Ngale, Tamele, Jingweleza, Bonja, and Latifo Musi, as well as Mozambique and Mugambe. The bench, Unenchia Rosa and Aguila. So this team, Coach Rui Ivora is really looking forward to getting his first win.
A 4-3-3 formation for Costa del Sol. You look at a double pivot of Samira as well as Albertina Ponja. They will be pivotal in today's encounter to make sure that they sit on top of the defense.
Well, we get underway as Nsingizini Hotspurs with the green and white. They get us started here at the Gaborone United Stadium, attacking the goals from the left to the right of your screen. And for Costa del Sol, they are looking bright and beautiful in their yellow uniform. They are attacking from the right to the left of your screen. The formations have been clear and pretty much one that we are expecting to get balance from Hotspurs with the 4-4-2, and on the other hand, Costa del Sol is looking to come out all guns blazing, all out attack.
All out attack for Costa del Sol. They know how important it is to get those goals and get those 3 points. It will be important for them to make sure that every opportunity that they get, they are clinical with those opportunities.
Talking about being clinical, they also need to be organized defensively. As we see, the teams are led by Ngale and Musi, as well as Jose Mozambique making that mistake. But it is Haunwe who has been a problem that is up front for all the teams that she has come across. So Joanna is going to have to be at her best.
Full of energy. Raonwe is one player that Costa del Sol defense will really need to keep tabs on and avoid being complacent at the back.
Well, when we come into today's tournament, it's 23 into today's matches. It's 23 goals from 6 games. Mamelodi Sundowns against Nsingizini being the biggest victory in Group B.
Biggest victory for Mamelodi Sundowns, and we saw double hat-tricks in that encounter. There is a golden boot up for grabs, and some of these players will be looking for those individual accolades to try and make sure that even if they don't get the golden boot, there is player of the tournament that is up for grabs.
Those individual awards just cementing the special players that we do have. And Tabeleng Potsane. So the 3 changes that I've picked up for Nsingizini is the ones in the midfield. Anele Ngwenya, she's come in, jersey number 13. I've also picked up Pilisiwe Dlamini, jersey number 15, as well as jersey number 18, which is Nomfundo Bembe.
Areas that some coaches will tell you you need to have your regular starters being in that position, but after losing 8-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns, they knew they needed to make those changes, especially in the midfield. They were struggling against Mamelodi Sundowns. They knew how important it is to be compact at the back. With 4 personnel in that midfield, they're trying to make sure that they minimize those spaces, and they'll have balance when they're defending, and also when moving forward, they'll still have advantage of numbers in that midfield.
They were also quite impressive in trying to deal with the second ball, and a player like Kaonwe was one that needed the support, and I think bringing in Lisiho Mohale to play alongside could be beneficial to this team that really wasn't that bad, but they just came up against a team that is much more well polished and absolutely experienced at this particular level.
And absolutely experienced Mamelodi Sundowns, who know how it is to win and how it is to make sure that you grind for those results. And you look at Mokhale today, she's going to be very crucial as she'll be in support of Raone. And also in that midfield, you're talking about Tabeleng, who also didn't have a poor game. If you look at how the overall her performance was, she'll also be looking to try and be another supporting player when they're going up front.
Lucia onside, gets inside the box, and good defending, quite composed, relaxed, but just gives possession away, and that is a tame shot. Goalkeeper Neema Namiri has shown some glimpses of her brilliance in that number 1 position. A goalkeeper who has great reading of the game, good reflexes, and has a strong sense in terms of 1v1 situations. But here's the ball that goes up front, looking to pick up Lucia Jose Mozambique, and she overruns that. It goes out for a corner.
Took her eyes off the ball a bit, and is one player that Nsingizini Hotspurs really need to make sure that they guard against with her pace, and she's able to get into those areas and isolate defenders.
Well, a mistake being made at the back, and eventually Hotspurs get that ball away. Here's that lovely wind that we've been asking for. That seems to be blowing northeasterly. Bounce of the ball picked up. Lucia. It is Samira Latifo. Ines Chingules giving chase as Nadia Farangwana. and eventually she gives up the chase. It will be a throw-in for Hotspurs.
Kunene will be happy that she gave up on that chase. She missed that ball completely. She needed Togada in that midfield and start off play for Hotspurs.
Quick response there by Sheila Alphonse. Good piece of play. Getting a good feel about each other. So another ball that has been threaded through. Good idea in sending. That is Lucia Haonwe on a bicycle. And just taking an eye off the ball is Leila. That's a throw-in for Hotspurs. Assistant referee wanting a throw-in to be taken at the right spot. Two players on top of each other. Just Chingwelez goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Ines Chingweleze, one of the few players that is part of the national team. And Costa del Sol, almost the entire team is part of the national team.
They're playing against the national team today. Nsingizini.
Good play. Samira on the ball. Captain looking to get that ball wide. Chingwelez quite strong in the middle. There's the captain yet again, Samira Latifo. And it is Myra Magwambe who will give chase. And the keeper, Neymar. In actual fact, Nompilo Dlamini. Nompilo Telamalanga Dlamini, who hoofs that ball. Good cushioning of the ball. And it was an intended defense splitting pass. Bobo at least gets another start, the 34-year-old. Chingwelez appears to be very busy in these opening minutes.
She is very busy with Costa del Sol now on attack.
Ball delivered in the box and header! Ball in! First goal! That is really the lurking Lucia Jose Mozambique. She says she wants to hear a little bit more. She wants to be celebrated a lot more. So Lucia Mozambique gets the opening goal. Still not the fastest goal in this tournament, but what a way to get started.
Costa del Sol making sure that they get an early goal. First 10 minutes are always critical, and they made sure that they pile on pressure. This was a good play with that beautiful passing, man. They were 3 against 3, and the goalkeeper and also the defense, they went to sleep a bit. They didn't make sure that they checked their surroundings, especially that blind spot. And Lucia was on her bike. She needed no second invitation. Good delivery in the area, and she just had to head it back to where the ball was coming from.
So Ponja picking up Farangwana, whose delivery was excellent. If you're really going to use the width, use it to great effect. Lucia coming in unmarked, but the defense there as well. When you look at Samkelisiwe Fagudze, the jersey number 3, she really didn't even realize that Lucia was just lurking behind her. But be that as it may, those are errors that will be corrected, and hopefully getting a quicker response to the deficit. Another ball looking to get into that defense. It is Nobegazi. Ball left out by Aurora Ngale, just to trickle over the line. Coach doesn't look too happy for the moment. Picked up by the captain, Samira. Another effort. Here's Myra. And keeper this time puts a stop to it. Good. Made herself big, narrow the angle, but I think for Myra, maybe just chipping the ball over the oncoming goalkeeper would have been a better option.
The goalkeeper had already committed, showed Myra that she was going to go down, and Myra really didn't show much of composure to try and say, let me chip that ball. But this was a beautiful pass that was played by Dania in that middle of the park. not the best shot from Myra. She could be doing much better in that instance. But for the defense of Nsingizini Hotspurs, they went to sleep. They need to make sure that they communicate better, and the goalkeeper as well needs to make sure that they don't see those spaces between Pilisiwe Dlamini as well as Makopo.
Well, here's an opportunity for some Kilisiwe, looking to get that ball into the box. They are yet to make an entry in the box. We've already seen one entry from Costa de Sol, and that has resulted in a goal using the width. Here's another opportunity. This time it's Lucia, Mozambique, ball in the air, and eventually ball hacked away by Novegazi. Good protection of the ball. Yellow jerseys inside the box, and that deflection, that's what is needed. Closing out of the ball, out on the wings, and players stayed down. It looks like it's Pilisiwe Terenkosi Dlamini, one of the three changes.
She's causing all sorts of problems, Lucia. In the first 10 minutes of the game, she has switched sides now. She was on the left, she's moved to the right hand side, and she's still finding a lot of joy there. She's able to get the ball and run at the defense, also bringing those crosses for Myra as well as Nadia Farangwana to try and get at the end of it.
Looking at Costa de Sol, missing from that lineup is a few players. We'll get to share with you the players that did duty in the first match. There's a player just with a bit of ice. I would welcome that. This is the day when ice is not necessarily a problem, with the heat really quite high temperatures, and players will welcome the ice ball delivered in the box. Another opportunity this time. Header. Keeper comes in. Second goal lurking, and eventually the keeper does well to collect that ball at a second attempt. We'll have a look at this one more time.
They need to make sure that they come up with a solution to those runs. So they need to assist Samkelisiwe Fakuze, who's struggling a bit in this left-hand side, to deal with those runs. This was a beautiful delivery, and you're looking at Nadia Farangwana, who couldn't make better use of that ball. It's a similar ball that Lucia was at the end of it and got them the goal.
Well, this time there is no Armina Chava. She did not make the lineup. You're also looking to find Diolinda Gove, who was quite instrumental in the middle of the park for Costa de Sol. So Diolinda Gove, Marlene Janeiro. There's another player relegated to the bench. It is Marlene Janeiro. So the changes. Rosa Monique, we remember Rosa Monique was a player in the left back position, who also was quite a stalwart in that defense until the red card.
She got a red card, missing today's encounter. Rosa, she had a beautiful game until that red card. I believe they will be missing her today, but they have equally capable players who are showing their talent this afternoon, with now Aurora Ngale having to be deployed in the right-hand side and Neila Tamele having to slot in there. She has been doing well so far. Not that they have been really tested, and Nsingizini Hotspurs haven't really done much in terms of testing that defense and getting those entries into the box.
So 5 changes that I'm spotting. That's quite a number. But I think the coach realizing that he needs to bring in the players that are resilient. For both these teams, 3 points are massive, failing which they will have to pack the bags, and that's the important stop there from Neema Namire, just to ensure that she keeps a clean sheet.
She is a good goalkeeper, Neymar Nahari. She showed us in the first game how important of a player she is to Costa del Sol. Good reading of the game, knows exactly when to come out of her line and when to stay in her line. Did very well to make sure that she comes out and smothers that ball. But that was good piece of play from Nsingizini.
Still lurking on the edge of the box, the referee as assistant who just quickly pulls up the flag, flag, Loengo Tsohang, Dominica Melusi. So just to confirm the scoreline after 15 minutes, Costa del Sol in the lead by 1-0. Namire, it's played short, out to Aurora Ngale. Ball back into the middle, captain of the day, Samira Latifo, who just showed too much of the ball. Here's Hotspurs on the edge of the box with Anel Ngwenya. Ball in the box and offside flag, quick to go up. Offside flag, quick to go up. Playing the line very carefully is Costa del Sol, pushing up very quickly, and you got to give credit to Morsi as well as Jose Mozambique, who spotted the danger but were quick to come out of that position to force the offside.
Disciplined high line from Costa del Sol, but promising play from Nsingizini Hotspurs. They applied that high press and managed to win the ball. They need to do more of that to make sure that they high press in numbers and are able to win the ball and attack, because they'll have the numbers but also the decision making on the edge of that area. Someone needs to take responsibility and make sure that when they have space, they're able to take a shot.
Well, this is the first time that these two teams meet in any competition. Costa del Sol, though, with quite an experience at this level. Fourth appearance for this team, having been eliminated in the group stages. Here's a chance yet again. Ball in and taken away from the goal. You would have expected that they could have just toe poked. There's Chingwelez. And that's from distance. Missed opportunity, KK.
Missed opportunity, a mistake from Nsingizini. One that they need to make sure that they don't repeat when you have players like in that line, in that Costa del Sol, like Ines Chungwelezi there. She should be doing much better. But one player who will be quite disappointed with her first touch will be Nadia Afarangwana. She was out on goal in so much space. She just needed to control that ball a bit better. With the better first touch, she could have taken a shot.
Throw in. Jose Mozambique. Costa del Sol pressing high. Seem to be enjoying possession in these early stages. Delayed! What a ball! Lightning striking twice from the same player. Jose Mozambique. Second goal on the day. The 33-year-old from such an angle, from such distance. That is beauty at its best.
Beautiful, well taken goal from Lucia right there. She gets her second for this afternoon, making life difficult now for Nsingizini. We are still searching for that goal of the tournament, and we are seeing more contenders coming through.
We got to continue adding to the list. We have Radio Kanye on the list. We have Liluna Daweto of Mamelodi Sundowns on the list. We also have Endless Piri on the list. And now we have Lucia Jose Mozambique. What a beauty.
Beautiful goal. She will continue celebrating that. Not just a beautiful goal, but a goal that gives the team a bit of cushion, a bit of breather to now play with more ease.
Well, most definitely, once you have 2 goals to the good in the opening 20 minutes or so, you can press cruise control and be more composed on the ball. As we can see, Layla doing exactly that. Just, trying to manage the pace, as we do know that these weather conditions are quite troublesome for the players, and quite demanding. Nadia Farangwana. Hotspurs. Nomfundo. Goalkeeper's off a line. Brilliance! That's the response. That's the response we want. And it's Lucia Khaonwe getting onto the score sheet. A good way to give an indication of the fight that is still in the feet of Hotspurs. Celebrations on the bench, 2-1 the scoreline, and that will be encouraging as well.
And suddenly a 2-0 lead is not so comfortable after all. This was a delightful ball, such a beautiful ball that was played to Khaonwe. A beautiful run that she timed to perfection. And we said it's going to take something special to beat Neymar. And that was a beautiful goal.
Well, good positioning there by Khaonwe, realizing that the keeper is a brilliant keeper. That should be another one. If goalkeeper, they're still reeling from the goal she conceded, and that could have brought Hotspurs back into the match.
It's game on now.
Playing it short. Ball just easily going out for a throw-in. A little bit shaken in that defense. Coach Rui Ivora just looking on and wondering what happened to a defense that looked very well coordinated. But we got to give credit to Khaonwe. She's quite persistent in that role. This time dispossessed by Ines Chingules. Here's the goal scorer. Easy to spot her with the bandana, making it easy for us commentators as well. Lucia Leila Jose Mozambique. In between the defense, looking to pick out Nonjablisi. Chases on. Mayra. We've seen some players with a bit of grass burns. We call them grass burns, even though it is an artificial surface. So we can see here Nobegazi grimacing in pain as well. Quite an experienced player is Nobegazi Makopo.
An experienced player in that defense of Nsingizini Hotspurs. One player that needs to make sure that she's very vocal and is able to just organize that defense and talk to the Tomizile Kunene as well as Fakuze, who have been leaving some spaces that Nadia Farangwana as well as Lucia Mozambique are able to run into.
Well, with 0 points coming into the match, if you lose today, the dream is over. The qualification is over. So for Nsingizini, they can tighten up. I mean, after the 8-0 loss, you basically need to show where they belong. Is it on the big stage? Costa de Sol on the other side were quite menacing. They turned a good performance against Gaborone United, and they need the 3 points. Gaborone United really experiencing a bit of a scare in that opener, but two players going down, and referee Eloidi just quickly going to diffuse that situation. A bit of a pat on the back, maybe looking for treatment, and eventually summoned to the pitch.
They'll patch her up, make sure that she's back into the game. We'll be seeing exactly what happened, a clash with those two players. But with the water break coming up right now, there's a chance for the two coaches also to now try and reorganize their team. You're looking at a Costa de Sol, which looked like they were a bit shaken by that goal from Khaonwe. The defense have been rushing their decision, not really being patient, or trying to build up at the back. This is the goal by Khaonwe. A beautiful pass from the captain right there, and Bembe in that midfield. Good control, good turn, and the vision also to spot the run of Gaonwe. And first time she manages to such a beautiful shot, take a beautiful shot, got on the wrong side of the defender.
I mean, you really got to give credit to Bembe there. Very calm, very composed, put that forward ball on the ground. And it is from these delightful passes that you just need somebody to get to the end of that. And it was the goal poacher in Lucia Gaonwe who really appreciated the pass and had to at least give a smile. You are also looking at a team whose structure, was really dismantled. They are looking for a response today, even though conceding 8 against Mamelodi Sundowns in the opener. That was absolutely brutal. But you got to give credit to the team. For Costa del Sol, on the other hand, coming close, but, eventually losing that experience or, maybe not focused enough to maybe seal out a match that they could have won, allowing Gaborone United back into that particular match. They really rued those opportunities, and today the coach is asking for nothing less than 3 points.
The coach is indeed asking for 3 points, and they will have that game at the back of their minds, having led for some time and went on to lose that encounter 2-1 against Silver Strikers. They will need to make sure that they manage the game a bit better. They had 2 early goals. This is now where you need to see your experienced players managing the game and actually picking the moments when they need to commit numbers. With Gaonwe in the field, they know that one pass to her can mean danger for their team.
Strong challenge there from Nsingizini. Look to break those lines, and had that been successful, we could have seen some questions being asked of Neymar Namire, but there was also indication of an offside. Just using hands in that moment. Free kick to Hotspurs.
The intention is clear in Nsingizini Hotspurs. They are always going to try and make that one defense splitting pass from deep inside the midfield and try and find the run of Lucia Gaonwe as well as Sero Mokhale. Those are the players that the defense of Costa del Sol need to make sure that they guard against.
Well, talking about guarding against, the equation is very simple. Win at all costs to stay in this tournament. It is the second match of Group B. Mamelodi Sundowns and Silver Strikers will be doing battle this evening at 7 p.m. And for the moment, it is Costa del Sol and Nsingizini Hotspurs. Good work there by Nsingizini. Good turn. Nonjabulisa under pressure, forcing into the mistake, and the referee believes that was a bit unfair. That was a bit unfair. And 28 minutes. We'll have a look at the slow motion. There, player just hacking into Nsingizini. But I think that free kick should have gone in the way of Hotspurs, because the player went in with 2 feet.
And I was interested actually in seeing the gesture of the referee. It seems like she was signaling an offside. The technical team was not happy for Nsingizini because it looks like it was a brilliant run that was made by Mokhale right there. These are some of the decisions that I think they need to put at the back of their mind as Nsingizini and try and keep probing and making those passes in that midfield. Someone needs to shut Nsingizini down with the captain right there, Bembe, as well as Danai. They've been doing some good work in that middle of the park, able to get those passes.
Well, they've stabilized the midfield for sure, Danai, as well as Bembe. And in actual fact, Bembe has also been absolutely robust. The 2 central midfielders just controlling that and taking the game to the opposition. And on the other hand, you want to see a little bit more from Ines Chwengeles. She's just the player that's below that triangle, allowing the 2 attacking midfielders in Latifo and Ponja to make their way going forward to add the numbers in the attack.
We need to see more of her, Chungweleze, in this game. She hasn't really come out to try and just sit in front of the captain Bembe as well as Danai. They're having so much room, making it easier for them to have a chance to think on the ball and release those passes. We have already seen one ending at the back of the net with that goal, a pass from Bembe. They need to make sure that they do a lot more in that midfield, Costa del Sol.
Well, here's the Nadia on the far side. Good cut in, and on the edge of the box, that ball just trickling away to no man's land, and goalkeeper will pick it up with ease. Quite happy to give away the throw-in. This will allow her teammates to come back into position. Throw-in. Nobegas. Costa del Sol. Nobegas. Both players staying down. There's a clash of heads. There's a bit of a bleed coming down. And so unfortunate. That's where it happened. And we spoke about showing you all the action without fear and favor, and our cameraman just spot on with the action, is able to share with you, and you can see the blood just oozing down the head there of Nobegazi Makopa.
The medical team quickly summoned inside the field. Some good work. They'll patch her up, make sure that she is fine. She's an important player for Nsingizini in the heart of that defense. She's been doing well, able to get stuck into those challenges. Another player who say, look at here, this is a sky I got in Gaborone. Was in Gaborone United Stadium.
Talking about the scar, maybe a little bit of a Vaseline or some sort of oil ointment to get into that cut that will stop the bleeding. And I think a couple of stitches just to make sure that Nobegazi is back. I can imagine the headache that will be experienced there with that clash. Maybe a bit of load shedding for the moment. She'll be back.
She will be back after getting some medication and some treatment. She won't feel it with the adrenaline rush. Yep. She won't feel much of it right now. When it's time to sleep, that's where now she'll feel the headache.
Well, it is Myra Mungwambe. Myra is ready to make her way onto the field. The player who clashed with Nobegazi. Being bandaged. Ines Chengweles on the ball, goes out to the left, picking up Neila Tamele. Pumlile Kunene, who's pretty strong out on the left-hand side. She's got a lovely stature, is Pumlile as well. And, she's one of those players that is a bit of a disruptor. Ines Chengweles, good turn, keeper. We'll really watch that to the end.
Good reading of the flight of the ball. Made sure that she came out and gathers that to try and start off play at the back. Looks like they've dropped the tempo a bit, the two teams.
I think you got to navigate rather cautiously with the temperatures. They are affecting the manner in which this game is being played. Yes, we saw that it was about 30 degrees, but once you start playing, that feels more like 34 or 36 for the players. And not only that, the referees as well, whom I'm sure the ice bath is waiting for them in the halftime break. They want to take their boots and put them in the bath and hopefully get some sort of cooling effect. Anele Mgwenya giving chase. Lucia. Leila goes down, and another clash with Bobo. So Mozambique, Leila Mozambique with Bobo Danai. Just a clash of the two players there. Well, that's the incident that indicates or shares with you what really happened. And, maybe if you can pull it back a little, you'll get to see it a lot more clearer. But it looks like Leila running into the defender there, Bobo.
They were both going for the ball. Strong challenge with Bobo Danai involved in the challenge. And Lucia Mozambique, the brace. She holds the brace. She wants to get a hat trick today. They also patch her up. Bobo, she's been doing so well in that midfield. That partnership with Bembe has been very solid. They've been solid in that midfield. They've really made life difficult for the midfield of Costa del Sol. Leila, another important player for Costa del Sol. They'll want to see her back in her feet, back making those runs, making life difficult for the defense of Nsingizini.
Do we have another bleed? It looks like, maybe the medical team, they're just trying to patch up Leila. This is the slow-mo header into the side, and that is definitely enough to cause load shedding.
Very painful, especially on the side of the head. It's been painful. That's why you have that soft meat.
So, player looking very gingerly as she wakes up. And on the other hand, Bobo will be waking up to a yellow card. You know how the technical bench is. I remember for South Africa playing in the AFCON, and Benny McCarthy had received a yellow card, and I remember Coach Jomo Sono, the minute he got that card and he laid down, sent the stretcher in and had to be substituted immediately because he knew what was coming after that. It was a red card.
It was going to be a red card. He knew that with the stretcher he has to come out, because it's going to be... You have so many players like that, eh? Even in Europe you have some players like that.
Well, Bobo still stayed down, but she's got no chance. Referee Ilodi, Virginia, Liva Harivoni is standing by and saying, you're not going anywhere without receiving the yellow card.
Made up her mind to the referee, and that's the yellow card being shown. Still, whether you have the stretcher or not, you're getting the yellow card.
Shown no mercy but the yellow card. Player is stretched out. Let's hope that she too is quickly panel beaten and brought back into the field. We want to be able to witness this team, and it is maybe a concern though for the coach that Mr. Mpendulo.
They'll have to defend this ball now with one woman down. Makwapo is back on the field, all patched up. Another player that you won't have any problems identifying. She has a white, patched up with that white bandage.
Well, here's an opportunity for Nadia Farangwana. It's a grass cutter, but the wall does its job, I think. Should have maybe lifted it and got it into the penalty area with the hope that players like Ponja as well as Mossi, they could pick that up and maybe get the goalkeeper into all sorts of trouble. But for the moment, it looks like Bobo is still grimacing in pain, and so is Lucia Mozambique. Bobo. Now a closer look at Bobo. Doesn't she look like the Real Madrid or Brazilian player?
Vinicius Junior.
Vinicius Junior. Ball into the box. Good connection! Brilliant ball! Nadia Farangwana coming from deep. She says it's time to eat a lollipop. That's how simple it is. Child's play. Oh, that was delightful play Nadia Farangwana has been fantastic on the left-hand side. The flying assassin getting her name on the score sheet.
That was a difficult technique that she applied right there, but she got it to perfection. Nadia Farangwai, a beautiful goal that she has right there. Getting into that blind spot again from the right-hand side, managing to get into that area. Ah, Lucia, beautiful ball.
Lucia's just come from receiving treatment off the field, gets into good position, spots Farangwai coming through deep and late, and that connection was to perfection. I think you really got to give credit to a player that has been awesome this morning. She also became a supplier to the previous goal that was scored by Leila Mozambique.
There's some good understanding between these two players. They know exactly where the other is, always making those runs, deep runs behind the defense of Nsingizini. Leila now 2 goals and an assist. Should be quite happy with her performance so far.
I'm also quite happy for Leila. You know, when she went off grimacing in pain, the coach has got a bit of a wry smile. That is Coach Rui Ivora. He knows that his prodigy there is one that you need to quickly put together, mend, and get back into the field. Well, here is Nobegazi. She's heavily bandaged on the head. You're not going to miss her with that bandage. That just shows the hard work that's out there. Players are prepared to literally put their bodies on the line and looking to advance. Free kick. It's a player that goes down right in front of the referee, Samira Latifu.
There have been some hard tackles in that midfield, and you're not going to miss Mbembe there, always getting stuck on those challenges. She has really been robust in the first half of the game, but it is Lucia Leila who will be taking this one. They need a good delivery. They wasted the other one that we just saw with Farangwai. This time around, Leila should deliver a quality ball.
Leila on the ball, looking to get a ball that dips quickly. She's going direct to the goalkeeper, and that ball just going over the bar.
After getting such a beautiful goal, we can't fault her for trying with the free kick. With the second goal from some distance, she managed to hit the target. She'll keep trying those balls.
Well, for Costa del Sol, after like 40 minutes or so, we are seeing the 4-4-2 paying dividends for this team that is showing a lot more composure with the players at the back and showing a bit of compactness and a bit narrow every now and then. You can see that the coach is looking to try and stamp his authority. So 4-4-2 showing them a great balance, and also the use of the good cover that you are seeing. There's an opportunity for Hotspurs, a bit of a push in the back by Sheila Alphonse.
No one missed that push in this field. She knew the danger that Gaune poses. If she was able to control that, she was going to make it very difficult for her. She'll be through on goal, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. She needed to make that foul.
Costa del Sol will learn that you need to look after the ball, and that was a needless push in the back, which puts them under pressure. That goes all the way to Namira. Good technique, looking to pick out Mayra. Here's the captain on the day, Samira. Chasing it is Albertina Ponja. Slowing the game quite nicely is Albertina. Looking for the goal scorer, Nadia. Cutting in. Chingoles, protected by Nomfundo. Ines Chingoles gets enough. Full stretch is Nadia Farangwana. Oh, bicycle kick, or not sure if one needs to get so comfortable. Maybe you just need to apply the basics. The scissor, sorry, not a bicycle kick. There's Ines Chwingles looking to pick up Sheila or Layla. First touch takes it away from her, and Layla allows for Aurora to be the support player, and eventually she needs to deliver that ball as Layla, and keeper this time collects it quite easily under no pressure. We have 44 minutes on the clock and maybe 4 minutes of referee's additional time. The board goes up, yes, in agreement with the fourth official. 4 minutes. We've had a couple of injuries.
They're doing well, Costa del Sol, making sure that they keep the ball and keep piling the pressure. They still understand that if Nsingizini were to score the second goal, it will make their life difficult. They're still looking for that fourth goal that will just cushion them.
There's an opportunity that the referee decides will stop the play and instead of allowing the flow of the match, and this time calls the set piece. Samkelisiwe, who was challenged there by Lucia. That foot up, or Aurora, Anele Ngwenya, went down. So free kick to Nsingizini Hotspurs. Oh, strong challenge. Here's Hotspurs turning on the edge of the box and looking to take on a couple of players. It's Nonjabuliso. And eventually the corner is conceded by Costa del Sol. We are in referee's optional time. KK, just looking at the two sides, what is it that Hotspurs needs to do in the second half, taking into consideration you also have the players on the bench, Ayanda Dlamini, Anelisa Ndiebi, who is a South African, Nelisiwe Ngampala, who was also banging in the goals in when she played for Buffaloes in the previous editions, but here she is playing for Nsingizini Hotspurs. She's got an abundance of experience.
An abundance of experience, and I believe we are going to see her in the second half of the game. That is Neliswa Kampalala, and you look at how they have played and Nsingizini Hotspurs in the first half of the game. They were very compact in that midfield, but you look at those wide areas. Once Costa del Sol tried to stretch that defense, it causes problems for Nsingizini Hotspurs. That's why now they need to improve and make sure that when Costa del Sol is on attack, Kunene is not alone. You see Mpatani dropping a bit to try and assist. You see Anele Ngwenya also dropping a bit so that they can double on Lucia as well as Nadia Farangwana, who have been such a thorn in that defense of Nsingizini Hotspurs. And we have seen Lucia Raoneshu continue making those runs, but I was missing Makhale in the first half of the game, not seeing much of her in support of Lucia Raone. They didn't have a lot of the ball. There was some real battles in that midfield, but once they win the ball, we needed to see Makhale also making those runs, making sure that she's able to receive the ball behind the defense of Costa del Sol. The coach will just need to make sure that he looks to the bench and maybe bring in Nelisiwa, who managed to have some good touches, some good moments on the first game when they lost against Mamelodi Sundowns. But this is a different ball game today, a different team in Costa del Sol, which has shown that they can be vulnerable in that defense.
While talking about being vulnerable, I mean, you're also looking at the manner in which they're using their wing play. That is Costa del Sol, and it is Hotspurs that is not able to find the answer of how to close that width and force them maybe in. Namire collects that comfortably. And the referee, who has allowed for the extra time as she blows a whistle to allow for the break, and it's still Layla that is struggling, and it will be quite an ask for her to come back here in the second half. They are leading comfortably by 3-1, and concerns certainly for Lucia Jose Mozambique. They've been in the wars, they've been in the battle. As we will get to see the highlights of the first 45 minutes. Started with the pace down on the left-hand side. Nadia Farangwai delivering a good ball, picking out Lucia Mozambique, who made no mistake to get a clear header. And that was the beginning of quite a marauding start for the team in yellow. It was the quality that was really appreciated by Miss Lucia Mozambique to get Costa de Stal off the marks. And eventually Mayra Mugambe, who also had an effort that was thwarted by the goalkeeper, narrowing the angle, very quick off a line. But the next one was a bit of a scramble inside the box. You cannot deny delight as Lucia Mozambique got the second from a brilliant ball that got the goalkeeper beaten hands down. On the opposite end, it was Gaone who did ever so well. A raindrop, a volley, whatever you would like, that got the belief for Hotspurs to say they could be back into this match. Good response by the ladies in green and white. We're not done yet, and for Costa de Sol, they conjured up another move. Lucia Mozambique delivering that ball. Good first time touch, and the net bulged. All we could say is snap, crackle and pop, and it was a fantastic ball that Nadia Farangwana registered her first goal in this particular tournament. Here are the statistics of the first 45 minutes.
Sums up how the game went with 3 goals for Costa de Sol. They have been dominant, but you look at Nsingizini Hotspurs with that 1 goal. And looking at how clean the game was in terms of the yellow cards, only 1 yellow card that was in today's encounter in the first half. But you look at those shots on target, 7 for Costa de Sol and 3 they made them count.
Just to confirm that that was the end of the first 45 with 4 goals that were scored. 1 Nsingizini Hotspurs and 3 Costa de Sol. Do join us in a moment or so, and we will give you a little bit more from the Gaborone Stadium. We can. Welcome back to the second half at the Gaborone United Stadium. This is the CAF Women's Champions League qualifier, COSAFA 2026. And what we have for you on the cards is Costa del Sol of Mozambique. They are up against Nsingizini Hotspurs of Eswatini, two teams that are meeting for the first time in this competition. And already we have 4 goals that have been dished out, and the scoreline reads 3-1 in favor of the team from Mozambique. Alongside me is KK, and she continues with her expert analysis throughout this tournament. Just to confirm the scoreline as we welcome you back to the action that is taking place. And not to forget that later on you will be having an opportunity to witness Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa up against Silver Strikers team from Malawi that is expected to upset the apple cart, riding on a high from the recent heroics in the women's WAFCON is Malawi, who were finalists on their debut. Can Silver Strikers do the same?
It's going to be a big ask for them to do that, Silver Strikers, but they do need to collect all the 3 points, or even a draw for Silver Strikers this evening will be a good result. Looking at, they still have one more game that they need to play. And on our picture, it is the Nsingizini Hotspurs Slay Queen. She is about to be brought on to the field of play.
Well, just to explain, that's the beauty of women's football. Ladies who get on the field looking all bright and beautiful with nicely painted lipstick and makeup, and made to look on point, as to share that the women's game is absolutely bright and beautiful. You also then have 2 players that are getting ready to come on to the field of Costa del Sol. You got Leondile as well as Angela. I'm sure KK will give us the impact of these 2 players that are coming on. Anele, you're looking at Anele Ngwenya, who will come for Nsingizini, and Anele Ngwenya goes out, and her place is being taken by number 9, which is Nelisiwe Ngampala. That's the player we spoke of. And then we have Myra Mungwana. She's being substituted, and also Angela, number 9, coming through. Sheila Alphonse is making her way out, and her place is being taken by number 2, Leonile Mario Matola.
Nsingizini, with that one change, we are seeing Eliswa being brought on for Anele Ngwenya, one player that we did anticipate to see in the second half of the game. The goal scorers, they're going to try and switch it a bit more now with dropping Mokale into that midfield and having Lucia Gaonwe as well as Neliswa being the 2 strikers that will just be paired up front to make sure that they cause all sorts of problems for the defense of Costa del Sol. And you look on the side of Costa del Sol, they made the 2 changes with Myra, who really tried in the first half of the game to try and get the goal, but they didn't allow her space and time. Angela will be brought in, and more of a like for like. She just slot in to that number 9 role. It is Angela in that position.
So 2 changes being made. Angela Mutula and Matola. Leolinda. Corner. Good header away by Pumzile Kunene.
It's interesting for me because in the first game for Costa del Sol, we saw Sheila Afonso not finishing that game as well. She was substituted in the second half. You can see Matola also is being brought on today. She is retired to the bench. It is Afonso, but she's going to just slot in there that defender to make sure that they try to be a bit more compact at the back. They've shown some weaknesses in not able to hold that line brilliantly, with Gaune able to break that defensive line a few times. In the first half, they'll be looking to be a bit more solid at the back.
Well, most definitely, and the way to respond for Nsingizini Hotspurs is to bring on an attacker, and that in the form of Nelisiwe. We spoke about experience in the second half. She goes down in a heap, and that's from a very strong challenge there from Musi. And you get to have a look at Nampala. Got a bit of a clip on the ankles there, and goes down. So free kick to the team in green and white. In pain, looking for the ice. So Costa del Sol, number 21 is Joanna Morsi. Joanna Morsi is still being helped up to her feet. For the moment, we've got a stop in play.
One of those key players in that defense of Costa del Sol. She was very pivotal in the first game. In the first half of this game as well, she's done some good job in that heart of defense. They'll try to make sure that she gets back into the field after making 2 substitutions. They wouldn't be looking for a 4th substitution this time around, especially in that defense where they're trying to be a bit more compact and be more defensive in the second half of the game.
Well, I don't know how's your singing, but mine is very, very bad. You know, you really want Joanna to give us hope that she's going to come back into this match. So the free kick in favor of Costa del Sol. Vinicius Jr. Ball delivered. That goes out wide. Hairstyle and look-alike. The only deceiving point at the moment is the number. She's playing with number 20, that is Bobo Danai. Maybe should have been giving her a number 7. Should have negotiated a little bit better. Then we would have Vinicius Jr. in the flesh out here in Gaborone.
Maybe she gets a goal or 2, then she can start the negotiations.
Absolutely. Here's Lucia. Good to see her back in action as Lucia. Cut in, looking to whip that ball. Does deliver it into the right places. All she needed was a little bit more help. And Tabeleng Potsan. Samkelisiu turning into trouble, but look at that skill. Nomfundo, she's got some good feet.
She's got some good feet, and she protects the ball so well and very strong in that midfield, able to protect the ball and make those turns. Look at here. Oh, so strong.
But pretty delayed for, nevertheless. I think that pain just getting the better of Nomfundo. Samira. Mistake made in that defense, and here's the opportunity for Nojablisile to whip that ball in the box. Here's an opportunity for Gaone. Apologizes to the opposition.
There's a bit of miscommunication in that defense of Costa del Sol. With Gaone always lacking, they need to make sure that they clear their lines as quickly as possible.
So there's another opportunity for a change. The coaches refreshing the teams, knowing that the battle here is not over for Costa del Sol. Let's hope they don't relax and think that it is all done and dusted. And for Nsingizini Hotspurs, there's still that belief that they could get the 2-goal, as there is a 2-goal deficit, maybe to force a draw. We are yet to get a draw in this tournament. It's a straight win or lose.
We are yet to get a draw, and one can only wonder where the first draw is gonna come from. Looking at today's encounter with Costa del Sol already 3-1 up, it is showing it's going to be a very difficult ask for Nsingizini to get those 2 goals, but they still have time. If they can just be patient and try and be clinical and lethal where they get into that final third, they can get a goal in this encounter.
Well, it is Costa del Sol that bring in Diolinda Gove, a player that comes in very pivotal, just sits into that midfield. And you spoke about the dominance of Nsingizini Hotspurs, where their midfield seemed to have been very nicely controlled with Bembe and Danai. And here we've got Diolinda coming in is for maybe Chingules.
Substitution that was, I believe, will be a forced substitution, with Joanna not being able to come back to the field of play. It will be a big loss, but with Gove, with her experience, she started the first encounter, but she'll just be one of the players that will really need to make sure that they try and monitor how it has been going on in that midfield. They haven't been able to win the battle in the midfield. That's where you need your players like Gove to try and do that for you. It will be interesting on how they're going to now change their lineup with Joanna out on injury, and one can only hope it doesn't take her out for too long, because they still have an important game that they need to be playing against Mamelodi Sundowns.
Absolutely, and you need your best 11 to take the field, but be that as it may, if the players are injured, that's what it is. You've got to have to show the depth. There's an opportunity for Hotspurs to attack that ball, and eventually it is smothered there very nicely, as we had Ngampala, Kevin Chase, one of in actual fact the only substitute that was made. And then you see where
looks like they're going for 3 at the back. It is Costa del Sol. Gove will just slot into that midfield. They'll try and overload that midfield. I think the coach has realized that they've been struggling a bit, and with Nsingizini Hotspurs being able to control the midfield, it has made their life easier to break into and get into that final third. They need to make sure that they have enough numbers.
Having enough numbers, ball delivered, mistake made, but nobody to capitalize there on Matlamini's mistake. And it will be a throw-in. Or is it a corner? It's a throw-in. So Costa del Sol with Albertina Ponja taking a good throw. Here's Mozambique, Jose Mozambique, doing a little too much, and the referee's not interested in that. It is Hotspurs that will come away with the ball and leaving Julia grimacing in pain. Touch of the ball is one that finds and more favorable to the Hotspurs. Here's an opportunity for Haone, and the offside flag went up almost immediately, although the bench of Hotspurs is not in agreement with that decision.
She went up too early, Raonwe. She started off that run a bit too early. As you can see, this is the earlier chance. She's good, Leila. Quick feet. And with the foul, she was able to draw that and lost possession of the ball. But Raonwe right there, she needed to time that run to perfection. She would have been through on goal.
Goal scorer, Nadia Farangwana. There's Nadia on the ball, pushing a player out of the way, showing how robust she is, leaving Nobegazi for dead, and looking to get that ball into the kitchen. But it's not to be, as one would look at Nonjabuliso, who is very, very instrumental. But you've got to give credit to Nomfundo. Here is 3 against 2 and breakdown in communication when they had the advantage of the numbers and also having quickly broken into an attacking transition. That is an opportunity lost.
That's an opportunity lost. They needed to communicate better right there. It was Neluiso as always, Mukhale right there. They needed to communicate. I believe Neluiso was in a good position to get at the end of that ball and try and get that shot away. As a captain, I was looking at Bembe, who made that pass. She was so calm. I would have been furious.
I can't imagine the coach must have been furious, because that he knows those opportunities are not going to come by anytime soon. For once, the defense of Costa del Sol left exposed and outnumbered. There's another change that is being prepared by Hotspurs. Keeper who took long to release that ball. Here is Mozambique. Leila Mozambique picks up Angola. Motula. Angela Motula. Playing the 1-2 is Nelia. Nomfundo.
She's been brilliant. Nomfundo.
He has a chance again. He seemed to be really able to break that or take control of that midfield. There's Nonjabuliso. Showed too much of the ball and making it easy for Aurora. Good, needs it. First time ball into the box. A touch a little too heavy, but still on the edge of the box. I think if she can take a strike, does exactly that, is Nomfundo. Needs to do a lot more of that, and coach is asking of her. Gets closer to the box. I think she is a player that does pack some sort of power, venom, and also great vision. Good take in the air. Hacked away. This time it's Matola. Nobegazi.
That was some sweet touch from Nadia Farangwana. Killed that ball completely.
Good turn. Samgelisiwe. Good take. Going the wrong way. Two players running into each other. So this is the change, and I don't agree with this change, but that doesn't matter. And the player to come on for Hotspurs is number 7 in Annelisa Ndiebi. Well, Annelisa Ndiebi played or comes from South Africa.
That's an interesting change for me. I think Nomfundo has been doing very well so far. She's able to get those passes, those forward passes that we've seen. Khaonwe as well as Neliswa and Mokhale being able to get at the end of them. She's robust in that midfield, was giving you a lot defensively as well as offensively. That's the type of player that you need on the field of play.
Well, here's a dangerous ball into the box and has a few yellow jerseys, but the referee just spotting the flag or a player having strayed into an offside position as this match reaches the 1 hour mark. It's still Costa del Sol of Mozambique that are in the lead by 3-1.
They'll be happy that so far they haven't conceded Costa del Sol. They're still piling up the pressure, able to get into those areas. But for Nsingizini, they really need to get that second goal to bring back the confidence and motivation to keep fighting. They're making those entries onto the box, but the decision making once they get there, the communication, there has been some breakdown when they get into the final third.
Well, it is a moment now for Costa del Sol to get themselves organized defensively, but that ball just shepherded out for a goal kick, which will allow Neymar, who in the second half is a bit on holiday. Miss Neymar Namire.
Which destination, I wonder?
Oh yeah, we'll have to ask which destination she's at. We've had a few in Barbados. We've had Andy Letlamini in Barbados, Jamaica. We've had Neymar Namire, who's about to tell us which destination she's at. We also had Hazel Nali in the Seychelles.
She's probably somewhere in Okavango. We should confirm. Right here in Botswana.
Oh yeah, probably just around the corner, which you can get the opportunity to see the wildlife that is here and the beautiful place here in Botswana. We've only had, 3 clean sheets in this particular tournament. Sundowns was a clean sheet there. And,
the 2 games yesterday, Abraham United, they kept a clean sheet. The first game that was played was a 1-0 win for Zesco.
Yeah. So those are the 3 clean sheets we've kept thus far. So Hazel Nali and Peresi. But one thing I can assure you, Peresi was not on holiday. She was on a working holiday, maybe.
And it wasn't a working from home, she was busy.
Here's the ball being hoisted into the box, and good defending for the moment. And the Hotspurs do come away with that ball. That, as far as Nelwa Tamele, ball goes out wide. Picking up again, Angela, and she is quickly closed down by a Pilisiwe Tenkosi Dlamini.
That was an important touch by Samkelizwe Fakuze. Needed to make that touch and clear the ball and have her defense try and regroup, but the pressure is still being piled on by Costa del Sol.
That ball, a little heavy first touch, but doing well to recover and eventually getting the important touch to benefit a corner. Ball in the box. So that ball having gone out, looks like that bandage is disturbing Nobegazi.
But she knows she has to keep doing the job.
So 65 minutes on the clock. Throw in. Here's that challenge, and those are some funny moments. Ball trickles over the line. Jabuliso. Good timely challenge there coming in from Matola. It's a throw in for Costa. Ines Chingolese. Good take off the chest there from Annelise Ndiebi. She just come on as Annelise Ndiebi. She stayed down, and player again going down on the edge of the box.
Doing very well, Makopo. Able to make sure that she gets into that good position and make sure that it was a deft touch. Track the runner, made her body big. Once you go across and there's a touch from behind, the referee is always going to protect you.
Giving chase. Just losing out and getting quickest to the ball is Albertina Ponja. So 4 minutes as we are reaching the 70-minute mark is Costa de Sol. Ball in the box, and had to be decisive in that moment. Diolinda goal. Looks like Nadia Farangwana, player that went down in that moment. So another change for this time. It's Njabulisile that will give way, and her place is being taken by Spesihle Angel Mpanza. Spesihle Mpanza, Spelele Mpanza.
She has done her parts. Nonjabuliso Makhale would have loved to get a goal, but she couldn't get a goal in today's encounter. We're going to see a different player in Panza, who's also just going to slot into that midfield behind Neliswa and Lucia Khaonwe and try to give that support with a bit more of energy. They have really dropped down in terms of the tempo. They have been under pressure for quite some time. Nelisa as well as Khaonwe have been isolated for some time. And they're already here for the 7 p.m. game. Mamelodi Sundowns supporters. I wonder which branch has come through today. We saw Gaborone branch and Khatleng branch on the first game.
Well, today it will be anyone and everyone. As long as you are a supporter of Mamelodi Sundowns, it's making your way to the venue and getting your seat, because it is going to be a full house. And talking of a full house, a more water break for the moment as Nsingizini Hotspurs are getting a bit of a tongue lashing. And on the other hand, Coach Rui Ivora of Costa de Sol is trying to get his players to up the tempo a little bit. You don't want to try and allow the opposition back into this match. Yes, 3-1 is the scoreline. And all you need, if it is a second ball that they find or a second goal that Hotspurs find, it could be some frantic defending.
The coach very aware how the first encounter ended, where they led and lost all the 3 points in that encounter against Silver Strikers. He'll be telling his players that they need to keep being switched on, especially in the last 20 minutes of the game. Nsingizini Hotspurs will try and create those chances, will try and get behind that defense of Costa del Sol. They need to be switched on, and they need to manage the game by having more of the ball and knocking it around to exhaust Nsingizini Hotspurs. Once they keep on piling pressure after pressure, Nsingizini will believe that they have a chance when they go on the counter-attacks.
Well, with 20 minutes to go, the coach and his assistants are still giving a good couple of instructions, picking up that there is a concern that was out on the left-hand side, and that was with Nonjabuliso, but eventually she was substituted by Coach Mpendula, and we had Pelele Mpanza come in. We also had Annelise Ndiebi, and not forgetting Nelisiwe Ngampala came on, and she came on for Anele Ngwenya. So Nomfundo Bembe, whom was in that midfield and holding that midfield very well, was a little bit disappointed with the substitution.
And you can tell with how Nsingizini Hotspurs are playing ever since that substitution was made. They're not having someone who's able to sit in front of that defense and really control the midfield. They have lost the midfield in this last 20 minutes or so of the game after her substitution.
Well, here's an opportunity for Nsingizini Hotspurs with Ntabeleng Potsane. A very strong challenge that just stops her in her tracks, and it will be a throw-in.
Another player that needs to really come to the party in Ntabeleng. Haven't seen much of her, especially moving forward. She is doing well when it comes to the defending, but the team also needs her as they move into that final third and try and look for those goals.
Well, it's the end of Albertina Ponja. She's given her all, and Armina Machawa is the player that comes on in. Armina making her entry. Armina Machawa.
Another one of the players that we saw making part of the first 11 in the first game. Had a good game but was substituted. She'll come into this encounter knowing fully well that they need those balls, they need those forward passes to try and get the fourth goal.
Oh, good work by Spelele. Eventually that ball goes out for a throw-in. Players cramping. Cough. And
oh, it's our number 7.
Yeah, it is. It is Annalise Ndiebi, a player that's just come on. No, that's
that looks like our Vinicius.
No, that's our Vinicius. That is our Vinicius. That's Bobo. That's Bobo who's struggling there in the middle of the park. Bobo Danai.
They wouldn't want to miss.
No, she's really had a good day at the offices. Bobo Vinicius Janai. She's done well for Nsingizini Hotspurs. Goalkeeper Dlamini looking on and worried. He's changing a few words of encouragement and comfort. And you can see the shrug of the shoulder from Numfundo. They're saying, I don't know why they took me out.
And she'll be looking at Danai struggling there and say, if I was only in there, if we lose Danai, it will be all sorts of problems now for that midfield. She's been doing very well, some concerned faces.
Well, conceding, and that face does tell the story that it's all done and dusted. There's no comeback. And when your coach has got a face that has given up already, can you imagine what happens to the players on the field?
The players on the field will be looking to the bench for that motivation. That is not a face they will want to see once they have their eyes there. They still need to see the coach on his feet, shouting those instructions, showing that belief that they can still come back into this encounter.
Well, these are the tournaments that will only improve the football out in Eswatini. Tough competitions to meet the best and put the quality against quality. All 8 teams that are part of this tournament who have contributed immensely. One will look at Costa del Sol. They've played against Double Action, who is a team from Botswana. They've played against Green Buffaloes, which is another team from Zambia that has been pushed aside by Zanaco, who is the new dominating force in Zambian football. That is when it comes to the ladies. Then you have Olympic Dimaroni, another team, and Young Buffaloes. So basically when you look at Costa del Sol, you have them playing 10 matches in this tournament with 10 different teams. Double Action, Gaborone, Green Buffaloes, Rentals, Sundowns, Olympic Dimaroni, and Young Buffaloes of Eswatini. That has really helped the game in Mozambique. Paraguay playing the return ball with the Machawa. inside the box. There were already a call for an offside as that flag just went up very quickly. Stop play. We do confirm the scoreline from Gaborone United Stadium. It is Nsingizini Hotspurs 1, Costa del Sol 3.
A result that can only mean one thing for Nsingizini Hotspurs. They need to start packing.
You got to see Nelia Tamele do ever so well to keep that ball in play for the 21-year-old. It has been a good day out there, Nelia. Very young side. You've got Neema Namiri at 24. You've got Sheila Alphonse at 23. Nelia Tamele at 21. Nadia's at 22. Quite a young side. Seems like there's a player cramping.
It's Nadia Farangwai. She's been busy this afternoon. A lot of running. Managed to score a beautiful goal. That's the third goal. She looks like she's in some sort of trouble. We might see a change.
She was the one player coming in from behind and eventually injuring herself. But the signal is very clear to the bench. It's please take me out. And these are the kind of things that I like when a player is no longer able to continue, gives a signal. Looks like that calf is something that the medical team needs to work on, as to get her ready for the match against Mamelodi Sundowns, which will be the third and final match of the Group B for Costa del Sol. You still are looking and wondering who will join, who will make it into the semi-finals. Good take by Nelisiwe Ngampala. Bobo, Vinicius. Ball delivered on the edge of the box. Strike is there. Annalisa Ndiebi coming from an onside position. That's the second goal, but there is an offside. That will be quite encouraging for Hotspurs. There is an offside. And in the meantime, it is Nadia Farangwai coming out, and her position is being taken by Eunicia.
She's coming up with an injury. Nadia Farangwai, she had a good game, had a goal and an assist in today's encounter. Eunicia has a chance now to make sure that she gets there and keep up with the pace of the game, which has picked up a bit with Nsingizini Hotspurs now seeing that the time is running out. They need to get that second goal and start chasing for that third goal. And with that offside, just a look on Panza to check with the assistant. She knew what was coming. She knew that she has strayed offside.
I think that KK will be encouraging for Hotspurs, getting in those spaces, and maybe from the coach saying that, look, all we need to do is time the run, get into position. Ball delivered in by Nelia.
She's a soldier there, Makopo.
Oh yeah,
she's up and she's still going for those headers, making sure that they don't concede any more goals.
Gove wins that ball for Costa del Sol. 10 minutes to go to the 90, and still 3-1. Kilisole. That is number 12, Pumzile Kunene.
Kilisole. Kunene.
Kilisole.
She's had some good battles right there, managing to win a few. This one, they'll need to make sure that they defend a free kick.
Talking about Kilisole, that is a soldier for you back home. You know, when you come to Botswana, two key languages to know. Setswana, as well as English. So you will get a couple of lessons here from KK. She keeps you glued to your seat. For the moment, we have a free kick, and this is in favor of Costa del Sol. So that's the earlier free kick, a bit of jersey tagging, and as a player goes down, and it's Machava who just came on, being a bit of a menace. Needs to deliver that ball into the box, and that didn't dip quick enough for Machava.
Needed to put it right there in that penalty area for other players to have a chance to try and head it to goal and maybe recycle it and make sure that they keep piling the pressure, because once Nsingizini Hotspurs get the ball, it will cause some problems for them.
Good chase there by Mohale, and she goes down in the box. Players just running into each other's path, and a hug and an apology offered. Annelise Ndiebi. Bit of holding in the free kick is given to Costa del Sol. Ndiebi, they're just pulling the player back. Some Sundowns fans that have come that are ready. See a South African jersey. Quite an expensive jersey, that is. But quite a nice unit. And quite a nice color, though. Quite a... the chase is on by Angela. Does she get the fourth? Dissected or passed across the face of goal. You needed that Unisa Machava to be a little bit quicker. Ball goes out, and a throw in it is for Costa del Sol. 7 minutes to go, plus referee's optional time. Hard work and hard at a good run that is. And, not too many players in the attacking third for Costa del Sol. They are worried defensively. They are worried about Hotspurs, and they've dropped a little deep, inviting trouble.
They're playing with caution right now. Costa del Sol not committing a lot of numbers, but good play from the goalkeeper, Nompilo Dlamini, making sure that she comes out and make her body big. Doesn't want to concede in that near post, forcing the ball to go across the field where she knew the defense was also there to protect.
Well, throw in this time. Nsingizini Hotspurs will use the strong hands of Pumlile Nondumiso Kunene. Ntabeleng puts on. Yes, Ntabeleng on the ball. Picked up by Gobe. Picked up by Ines Chingules. Lucia. Space that is opened up on the left-hand side. Good run. Here's an opportunity for Ngambala. Bayer taken down in the box. But the referee just looking at her assistant and wondering if that was a clean tackle. When you look at Ngambala, she's face up. She knows she was in with a chance. Layla. Here's Ndiebi, wins that ball back for Hotspurs, delivers it into the box on the edges. Ngambala, good ball, raindrop, but into the hands of the goalkeeper. Good reaction there, had enough time, player running into it. No, she got the ball before the man, did nothing wrong in that moment. Nelisiwe Ngambala.
That was a brilliant tackle from Mario Matola. She needed to time that to perfection, and she did that. It was in the area. One wrong move, it will mean a penalty for the team.
Here's an opportunity yet again. Nonjabliso inside the box. Ngambala was not expecting that, and that's just where you expect players to be alert and waiting for anything so they could pounce on that.
You need them to be switched on to make sure that any mistake that happens, they're able to pass on that opportunity, especially when they find themselves trailing. They need to make sure that they are switched on. But these are promising moments for Nsingizini Hotspurs. But with time running out, they need to make sure that one is at the back of the net.
5 minutes to go. (3-1), 4 goals in this match. I thought it was going to be a lot tighter than the scoreline indicates. But it was some beautiful goals that we got to see from Farangwana as well as Lucia, Mozambique.
And Khaone also scored a beautiful goal for Nsingizini.
Yep, Khaone. Lucia Machava. Goalkeeper just watching that till she's quite livid with the defense. Neema Namire, she says, you're inviting trouble.
They were living dangerously in that defense.
Oh, they are.
Costa, they saw they needed to be decisive and put that ball anywhere will do at this moment, because they need to protect that goal post with everything. Now there's turnover possession.
Good play there. Ball in and into the hands of Neema Namire.
That was the wrong choice. She needed to make sure that that ball goes around the penalty area. She had 3 players ready and waiting to pounce into that cross.
Well, Vinicius Jr. has been absolutely awesome with the captain's armband. That is Bobo Danai. On the ball, Vinicius. Bobo. Tabile. Captain play. On the edge of the box, Diolinda Gove was looking to bring in Machava. Inicia Machava. Laid back, here's a good strike. First time strike from Bobo.
She is struggling, Bobo. Went down all on her own.
I can't afford to lose Bobo. She's been one of the top players from the side. You could possibly swap that jersey that she's wearing for a Brazilian uniform.
And we won't see a difference.
No difference at all.
But she's been marvelous in that midfield. She's been everywhere in the pitch. She's been getting those forward passes. When they don't have possession of the ball, you see her behind trying to recover. And there some 50-50 challenges she was able to win.
To win those, yeah. Here's the chase for Angela Mutula. On the edge of the box, keeper was out of position and eventually backtracks, showing good awareness. So 90 minutes done and dusted. We are approaching referee's optional time. Njiebi looking for Ngampala, finds Ngampala. Ngampala again goes into the middle. Yes, Ndiebi with the ball, playing it back. They want to go forward. There's a mistake and a miss in the clearance that has Lucia Mozambique.
Spelele Mpanza has been one of those players who was brought into the second half of the game, brought in a bit of energy, chasing every ball, making sure that she gets at the end of it and try and bring some of those crosses as we get the confirmation of 5 minutes added.
While Nonjabulo Ndlela is quickly hoisting the indication of the extra time or the referee's optional time. As Mamelodi Sundowns fans that are in the house and have booked the spot, they call that the VIP stand.
That's the VIP stand for Gaborone Botswana branch.
Yeah. They were here.
You think you have a seat there?
Our seat is right here. Our seat is right here in the commentary booth.
The VVIP.
The VVIPs. Diolinda Gove. Out to Unicia Machava. Gove looking for the return pass. Unicia does well to keep it in play, but she has company in Ntabeleng Potsane, who eventually sends Gove back, or Diolinda back. We've played a minute of the additional 5. Ines Chingoles. Chingoles bringing in, that's Nelia Tamele. Tamele on the ball, picking her head up and bringing in the bright Lucia Mozambique, who then goes to the captain, Samira Latifo. It's gone off the boil here in the second half, the captain. Latifo maybe being asked to defend a lot more than she did in the first half. So Lucia Mozambique. Latifo coming from an offside position, some tired minds, tired legs, and for some, with the pain of being overstretched, tournament is quite grueling. Level of sharpness.
Some tired minds indeed. With that ball hoisted in the air and Makwapo just trying to make a meal of it. But that was some good play by Costa the Sol, managing to keep the ball for some time, managing the last 5 minutes of this encounter, winding down the clock with the ball in that possession. That's what you need from a team that is 3-1 up.
So throw in it is. Nelia Tamele ricocheting off Costa del Sol. This is a throw in for Hotspurs. Taken off the chest by Diolinda. Samira Latifo. Giving chase. Unicia Machawa will try the step over, but she's got to contend with Pumlile Kunene, who in that right back position has really shown glimpses of a good job at the office. 93 minutes. We have 2 more minutes before the referee blows the whistle for the final, or to bring an end to this particular match. Just your summary of this particular route, the result, how it affects the group, and what to expect in the third and final match. That is a near miss, and again the captain there coming pretty close. Samira
Latifo right there. That was some good work getting to that area, and that shot not able to hit the target. But with the result as it is right now, it will mean that Nsingizini's hopes will just be dimmed. They'll need to start packing, because with Costa del Sol having 3 points right now, they still have a game to play, but not particularly to say pack everything else, because Costa del Sol means they have 3 points. Then you still have a Silver Strikers that has 3 points as well. If they can win their final game with some good goals with them, they can finish in the second spot. And you see there's Mamelodi Sundowns who will be up against Silver Strikers. They'll just have to hope that Mamelodi Sundowns does the job against Silver Strikers to keep their hopes alive. They have a good team here. It is Nsingizini. They just need to be very clinical when they get into this final third, because they're able to create those opportunities.
Well, talking about a good side, they had a friendly out in Johannesburg, or participated in the Pirates camp, and they did well, losing out in the semi-final stages, playing matches against Wits University, the UJ ladies, as well as Sintumele Kutama, finishing 4th. And then they went on to lose 2-1 against JVW. So they have indicated that they can do well if being prepared, and I think it's just a grueling tournament that has asked a lot of these players. But the referee, who brings an end to this half, we can comfortably say that Nsingizini Hotspurs have been eliminated. They will not progress, but they still have to continue, and they face Silver Strikers in the next match. So great day at the office for Costa del Sol, pulling off another win, added to a couple of wins that they have registered over the years. Olympic de Moroni on the receiving end, Young Buffaloes of Eswatini also on the receiving end. But you got to give credit to a player like Leila Mozambique, who had a beautiful day with a wonderful goal just to seal her day at the office. Arguably the player of the match in this particular fixture, and will certainly make her way to the interview area with our presenter Nozobusiso. So Costa del Sol taking the 3 points. Doesn't matter how they came, but let's have a look at this. It was a free kick. In the highlights, that ball just ricocheting out for a goal kick. That was an indication that Nsingizini Hotspurs were here to put a fight, and a fight they did. A little bit of miscommunication early in the match between the two players, Nampala as well as Tabeleng, just breaking up play, and eventually there we had a clean-up player with the mop and a bucket there, and we had the ever-marauding Nadia Farangwai also keeping the hopes alive. Farangwai doing well to stay on her feet, taking the strike, and keeper there, Telamalanga Dlamini, doing well. As Farangwai was not done yet, good delivery into the box and hacked away. This time it was Bobo Danai making sure she denies another opportunity for Costa del Sol to get that ball into the box and run away with a much higher scoreline. It was another frantic piece of defending, a little bit of argy-barginess. Ball was in the back of the net, however, disallowed for an offside, and that was enough to maybe break the hearts of the players from Eswatini. So that being the order of the day, another final push. This time it was Angela Mutola asking questions of goalkeeper Telamalanga Dlamini. It wasn't to be, so we do end this match with a scoreline that reads Hotspurs 1 and Costa del Sol 3. We'll get the opportunity to go down to the touchline with Nozobusiso and our player of the match, and getting a trophy for her efforts.
Thank you to our esteemed commentators. I am standing here with the player of the match, Lucia Mozambique of Costa del Sol, and to hand over the trophy is Mr. Kaho Mosingi, PFA COO. You'd remember that Lucia did score in the first game, and today she did manage to score a brace as well. And now I am going to be joined by the coach of Nsingizini. Nsingizini Hotspurs, Coach Mpendule Mawelela. Coach, an unfortunate result. What went wrong?
I think a team that doesn't take their chances, they get punished. First 15 minutes, we created 2 chances, one-on-one with the keeper. We scored 1, while we conceded, I think I can say, easy goals against ourselves. So I think we got punished. It's only a learning curve. We're still learning. The team is still learning. It's our first experience. But I think I'm proud of my players, the way they reacted, especially in the second half. They showed that they're learning something. Each time we go to the dressing room, we talk to them, they come back better. That's what I can say.
It is actually something that also happened during the game against Sundowns, where you talk to them and then they come back stronger. What were the lessons, Coach, in this tournament?
One, I think they were using wing play. So when they were using wing play, we couldn't focus on the players on the other flank. So they would come in and score. So that is what we fixed when second half, when they came back to try to execute the very same tactic. I think we managed, we did better. But ourselves, we created a number of chances second half, but we couldn't finish them. So a team that doesn't score, convert their chances, then that's why we are punished.
You did score, however, today, Coach. What were the positives from the game, even though you did lost?
I think in the first game we failed to create this number of chances, but now that we can create chances like this, I think going forward we need now to make sure that we finish those chances. I think if we finish those chances and then avoid letting in goals that are early and cheap, I think we'll be better. We'll be a better team.
Thank you so much. That was the coach of Nsingizini Hotspurs, Coach Mpendulo, saying that they are going to go back to the drawing board and make sure that they convert their chances. Now I am going to be joined by the coach of Costa do Sol, Coach Rui, who will be joining us with a translator since he speaks Portuguese. Coach, I'm sure you are very happy today with the results. What was your assessment of the game?
O senhor está feliz hoje com o resultado. Quais são os apontamentos que tirou do jogo?
Eu acho que era muito importante a gente ganhar. A gente acabou entrando no jogo um pouco mais ansioso, porque perdemos o primeiro jogo, então as meninas estavam tensas, já era preciso pedir com que elas estivessem calmas, que era para poder abordar o jogo com mais calma. Então o jogo começou tenso, mas depois elas compreenderam que era possível controlar o jogo, controlamos o jogo, fizemos 3 golos, eu acho que é positivo. Podíamos ter feito mais, agora é só melhorar alguns aspectos que nós achamos que é se melhorar, que é para vir aqui na terça-feira, ver se a gente luta pela classificação. É possível, acreditamos em nós e se a gente melhorar é possível.
It was a good game for us. We controlled the game, principally in the first half, but we could score more. The defense was not good, and now we have to work hard to win the next game. It will be not an easy game, but we'll try our best to win.
What were the positives, Coach, from this match, obviously having scored 3 goals?
Marcamos 3 gols, mas poderíamos ter feito mais. O que acha que mudou do jogo passado para este?
Do jogo passado para este, eu acredito que aquilo que era a nossa frescura física. No jogo passado a equipe estava muito cansada, muito mais por causa da viagem, também a altitude. Para nós foi muito difícil. A gente vive numa zona baixa e chegar aqui com calor, depois respirar o ar que nós respiramos naquele dia, desgastou a equipe. Eu acredito que mais tempo a gente fica aqui em Botswana vai ajudar a equipe.
He said that for the next game we will try our best. It will not be easy because Sundowns is Sundowns, but the team will do everything to win and go to the semi-finals.
Thank you so much. That was Coach Ivora of Costa do Sol saying that obviously building up to the next match against Mamelodi Sundowns, he acknowledges that it will not be an easy game, but they will make sure that they try to get those 3 points. Do join us as I go back to Gloria Brown. Gloria, the coach is saying that obviously they're going to prepare very hard for Mamelodi Sundowns, who are playing up next.
Well, that is a big ask from the coach. Congratulations to Costa do Sol as we pick up the statistics that tell you the story of what happened between the two sides. We had a team that was quite menacing with 8 shots on target, 3 of those resulting in goals. 4 wild shots and offsides, 9 in total. Corner kicks 3 and you're looking at 16 fouls. 1 goal for Nsingizini Hotspurs. 1 that reports home to say they were part of this particular match.
1 that says they were indeed part of this tournament. And you look at those 5 shots on target for Nsingizini, it shows you they did not sit back. They made sure that they attack and try and poach for those goals. It is some positives that they can take from here. Looking at those statistics, it is Nsingizini Hotspurs.
Well, do join us at 7 p.m. for our next match, which is Mamelodi Sundowns up against Silver Strikers. And that being the end of the weekend, the manner in which we will close the curtain for match day 4. From myself and KK and the team, that is a good evening.